I gave up everything because I wanted the fucking pain, man. I wanted to feel it all now. And if you want to advance who you are or what your mission on this planet is, the best way to do it, not the only way, but the only way I know how at this point, is to raw dog life.
Okay, welcome back to the Harley Malarkey podcast, Old Dog New Tricks.
Thanks. Good to be back.
We might have some new listeners here.
Whoa! Excited. Okay, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Tell them. You tell them.
We went a little viral last week.
Shut up.
Somebody wrote an article about us.
Yep.
And
the local 5 and dime.
Yeah.
No. We've got some big attention.
Yeah. So
I don't know if people read Yahoo News anymore, but Yahoo News and MSN is that? That what is that? Microsoft News?
I don't know. I don't know.
We hit it huge, but
almost over 1,000, which for us is big.
1,000 viewers of our Old Dog New Tricks.
Yeah, 1,000 people in this room listening to us.
If they were all in this room with us, oh my God, I'm a little claustrophobic, and that would hurt. That's exciting. That's huge when you think about it. That's as far as on a curve on how many people started.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, it was just my mom and your dad.
Yeah.
No, they've never listened.
Is there anything you'd want to tell our new listeners if they came back for another week?
Thank you so much. We're doing this just hoping that you find something that you get out of this. We enjoy it. It's our own personal therapy session in here.
And he is an old dog who is learning a lot of new tricks. You know, when I met him almost 4 years ago, he was a, functioning alcoholic with a caffeine addiction.
Oh, he loved the caffeine.
On antidepressants.
Oh, so many antidepressants. Ooh.
And we're teaching him new tricks.
New tricks?
I'm a Reiki master and a nutritionist and a psychology nerd and a businesswoman.
And my own personal therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my lover.
Yeah.
That gets us into today's subject, but I want to do a couple things before we get there, okay?
Okay, I have a couple things to do also.
Okay, so laundry list. Anyway, my friend, she told me that men are so immature that they're supposed to date women half their age plus 7.
Well, you're about to be 53.
So half my age plus 7.
We'll just do 52 to make it easy because that's how old you are.
Okay.
Right now. So 52 divided by 2 is 26 plus 7 is 33.
I told you were too old for me. I told her she was too old for me, and I did ask her this morning when I threw this equation at her. I said, what are you going to do when you age out? And I mean, essentially, you've already aged out.
And I just didn't even respond because it's such a dumb question.
Yeah.
Well, it's your birthday on Friday, and I wanted to do a little birthday episode. I had a different idea than you did, but I think we can kind of combine them, which is your birthday will be the 3-year anniversary of when you got sober, when you stopped drinking.
I do appreciate this. And this is why I could never fall off the ladder or the wagon or whatever little device makes us fall off. Because I dropped the mic on my 50th birthday. Yep. And I had planned it for a month, right? And I said, on my 50th birthday, it's going to be the last day I drink. And it wasn't like I was going hard blackout all the way to the 50th. I mean, I was having a good time. But I remember my birthday all the way through. I remember the whole thing, walking back into my house after we'd been up to Mamie's house, and it was just filthy, dirty, so many people, huge 50th birthday party, and my friends were like, oh, maybe you should make it the day after so you could have some Bloody Marys or something next morning. I've always hated Bloody Marys, so it wasn't up to me, my thing. And then, so since that day, never another drink of alcohol.
Well, yeah, we'll just pretend that that's true.
That's so rude.
Sorry. You don't have to put that in there. Never another one except for that one time that you did.
Okay, so, all right. Okay, so there was a fall, all right? Yeah, but I don't remember. So, yes, Puffer and I were in Iceland. Mm-hmm. It was fucking cold. We were at the Blue Lagoon, right? And it was a fucking free little Scotch bar and the beer and the Northern Lights and 2 dudes on vacation. And I fucking had a Scotch and a couple beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why I did it.
Well, I didn't think it was great of the company you were with who knew that you were trying to stay sober and it was really important to you to encourage that in any way whatsoever. But it was obvious.
Misery loves
It was
company.
obviously you are the adult and you are the choice.
Misery loves company.
But you've
I
never.
immediately told you.
Yeah, you did tell me as soon as you got back, and you've never been back to it since. It was challenging for me because I've dated alcoholics before, and so I was like, oh, fuck, here we go again. Somebody who claims they're going to stop drinking and, can't stick to what they say. But that was like 5 months, I think, after you quit, 4 months after you quit, and...
Which would have been scary, because
Yeah.
that wasn't like the glue that would have stuck,
Yeah. So it was really frightening to me, but you
still, the 50th birthday is just the best. Can I keep that as my date?
Sure. I mean, we could cut this out if you want to, but I don't.
Oh, I don't mind if we share it. I don't mind if we share it, but I
we can still keep
for
your
my
50th
for my
birthday.
3 years,
Yeah, we
it's
can keep it as your
53.
date.
It's so clean. It was free Scotch library. I was just like, whatever. It was.
Well, if there's another fall, like we're not holding to that.
Oh, I have to start a new date, 100%.
Yeah, but there won't be. I don't.
So that now I'm at. You want to just take my 3-year mark from me and now say I'm at 2.5 years now?
No.
That's mean, Danielle.
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, you know what they say about Iceland?
No, they don't.
Yeah. If you
trip
in Iceland,
we won't get too far away from the point, but
it's a slippery slope.
Sobriety has changed your life in many ways.
I'm sad that I did do that because
Yeah.
I do love my 50th birthday as my date.
Yeah, it's a bummer that you did that.
What would have been a real fucking bummer? Had I
What?
come home and started drinking again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a way worse.
Had I not just like, I stumbled and fell. And I guess that's the reason we'll share that with people is fuck people do stumble and fall.
Yeah.
All the fucking time, And I'm going to keep my 50th birthday as my final day of drinking. But I did, I had a day in Iceland, day and a half day. There was red wine at a little luncheon that I had to have. I was like, fuck it, I already fell off and the red wine's so good. That's, you know what my mama used to say?
Yeah, if you fall off the horse, you get bucked off.
Yeah, you get back on.
Yeah.
So I did, and thankfully I was able to recover from that.
Yeah, and I think because you knew that it was something you really, really wanted to do, and you were really committed to it, that
100%.
even when you stumbled, it was like, well, no, I'm still going back to this.
We got it. Onward and upward. All right, 50th birthday. What else we going to talk about?
I think that you wanted to talk about, I talked to my brother a little bit yesterday.
Oh, that's right. All right. So thought, this came to us. We heard this. So the reason that I quit drinking was to have a better grip on my anxiety, my relationship with my children, with you, with work, with everything, just happiness.
Yeah.
Right? And I realized that alcohol was me always trying to stop the chatter in my mind or stop me going, gosh, why am I in this situation? Why this happened? It's 5:00. Let's get fucked up. Let's turn the brain off for the night. Oh my God, it's amazing. I love it. Good night, brain. And
what negative consequences did you feel like alcohol was bringing into your life? Because I think you had mentioned even when you were married before, you had wanted to quit drinking so many times, but you never really did. And when you and I were dating, you loved alcohol. It wasn't like you never woke up in the morning and were like, God, I wish I didn't drink so much last night.
I see. There was before separation drinking, which at one point was really fun, but then it turned into a kind of a depression mechanism.
Okay.
That just oh God, shit, it sucks. We got to go there doing this. We're not happy with this. Let's just drink. We'll be fine. But then there was a different relationship with alcohol after. It was like, I'm free. I was celebrating.
Yeah.
I was celebrating so much until all of a sudden my celebrations were just fucking making me feel like Nicolas Cage in that fucking movie in Las Vegas where I was blacking out too much and I was just drinking straight tequila and really going for it and that wreck on my bicycle.
Yeah, no, there were a couple times. So it sounds like when you were still married, you weren't happy, obviously, which is why you are no longer married, and that drinking wasn't a celebration of life. It was definitely a clear escape a lot of times and a way to shut off your brain.
Yes.
And then when you were single again or dating me, you were excited about life and it was fun to drink, but then there started becoming some like really
I
red
think all of a sudden
flags.
then you get back to that bad mojo of drinking. I think it was like 6 months to a year. Like I was like, whoa, like you fucking feel like you're a teenager again or
Invincible,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, alcohol is just my. Even though I was celebrating this very small little thing of what I was like thinking freedom, all of my shit problems were still there. All of the reasons that I had probably gotten a divorce, all the reasons that my relationship with my children was being strained and the business and all those things were still there. So I immediately, it did just go down into the dark hole again of what alcoholism can do to you.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I think we have two different problems, but like
What's your problem?
coexisting problems, which is that for whatever reason, I seem to be really attracted to people with alcohol issues. And I was single for 5 months before we met, and I dated multiple people that I was like, oh, you have a problematic relationship with alcohol. You have a problematic relationship with alcohol, which I think so many people do. But I'm like, just how do I keep ending up dating these people that like clearly have problems with alcohol? And when we first started dating, it was like so much fun. And there wasn't really any darkness happening around the drinking. Like we wouldn't get really hungover. We wouldn't like lay around all day. It was just like we'd have so much fun partying. We'd have a great day. We didn't really drink during the day, and then we get really drunk at night.
I've never been a day drinker.
And it was easy to kind of deny that this was going to be a problem also. And then I would say
there was martinis, there was tequila, there was cheap shitty wine.
but it's like you're newly dating, so you're always like going out to a restaurant or traveling and going on an adventure. And like, of course, you're going to have a drink when you're like celebrating going on an adventure, which isn't how it has to be, but it's a lot easier to just like say that it's just kind of like this is part of the experience right now. And in a lot of ways it was. But I remember the first time where I was like, fuck, Danielle, you did it again, we had gotten into a little fight, and he had gone out with his guy friends. I had gone out with some girlfriends. And, I had like one glass of wine, a glass and a half of wine with my friends. I still wasn't like heavily drinking when we were together. I was, but not in the same way that he was. And I come home, and we had like talked, like he's like, yeah, I'm on my way home. I'm like, okay, I'm on my way home too. And my Uber is dropping me off in front of his house, and I see him laying in the road with his e-bike on top of him. And I'm like thinking like, okay, I think he must just be fucking with me. Like he knows I'm on my way home right now too. And so he's like laying in the road to like try and scare me. And so I told my Uber driver that. I was like, oh, he's fine. He's just messing with me. And so she drives away. I get out of the car, and I'm like, Brian. And you're like not really responding. And I'm like, Brian. And you're like, what, where am I? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you're in the fucking road in front of your house. You have like Fleetwood Mac playing on your phone and in your pocket. And you're fine, like you're not battered and bruised anywhere, but you're totally out of it. And I don't know exactly what happened. I don't think we saw it on the camera. But I get you inside. I'm nervous that you have a concussion or something. And we go to sleep, and we wake up in the morning, and I could tell you felt really shameful about it. You definitely felt bad about it. And I wrote in my journal, and I was like, I have to get out. Yeah.
Run, Harley.
I was like, why do I think this is okay? Why am I not like sprinting out of here? And I was like, nothing in me wants to sprint out of here or leave, but like this is the exactly like why I left my last relationship, and all of a sudden it's smacking me in the face.
Let's move on. Let's go. Come on, celebration. So yeah, it got fucking pretty dark there a few times, right?
Yeah. And I think I only share that to say that like, I think people that are like the active kind of addict are, the person that's looked at as a problem. But I think it is like people that are constantly getting with people that have alcohol problems. Like a lot of times they use the word like codependent, and it is another problem. Like it is a problem that I was choosing to be with you during that point in time.
Yeah. So thank God we moved from that. Yeah. But this is okay. Whoa. There was actually lots more of those.
Yeah.
And So yes, life is great. You quit drinking for 6 months, year. Your skin's looking better. You're getting better shape. You're feeling better. Everything's better. You're starting to sleep good. Stuff like that.
Well, I think it's helpful to kind of talk a little. I know you want to keep it lighthearted, and we can, but I think it's a little helpful to talk about like the process of like we had that issue happen. I think you had a couple other instances that were like where you're drunk and your kids noticed, and like little things like that where
Missing flights.
yeah, you missed so many flights.
Fucking missing flights.
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't.
Yeah, I've never met somebody who's missed as many flights as you.
Yeah.
But then it would be like, and then you wouldn't have an incident for a while, and I think it was easy to kind of just go back and be in denial about it, and then.
No, I don't think I was ever really in denial. I knew there was an underlying. I always knew. I knew for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I was like going, there's a time you're gonna have to quit. You
Yeah.
have to quit. And that weighs the whole thing. But all my friends drink. All everything social is about drinking. I run restaurants. Everyone's drinking in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, oh no. I mean, I've had 3 DUIs in my life.
Yeah.
I had one at 18, one at like 35, and one at like 45.
Yeah.
So drinking was just always, and I saw my father just kill himself from alcohol, right? My grandfather, same thing, both my grandfathers. And so many relatives are just drinking. I knew that if I wanted to be important or not necessarily important.
Yeah. If you wanted to have like the legacy.
If I wanted to have a full life, if I wanted to have the full life I wanted, I knew that I would have to give it up at some point. And, I had tried to give it up in marriage, and it wasn't, both sides didn't agree that was something that we should do. And I was like, oh, no, I think it's something we should do. And they're like, we're social drinkers, Brian, we're social. And it was just such a part of my family and my surrounding and my friend group. But I had longed for what it might look like to be sober. And I did always have something to fall back on, is my great-grandfather who made the Malarkey legacy. He sold this company on the New York Stock Exchange and really blew the family up back in the 40s and 50s and stuff like that. Old James A. Was that what they called in the olden days? Teetotaler, which I
don't understand that.
Drank tea, I don't know. Anyway, never drank at all in his life, and he made his brother drive him around all the time, which I thought was funny because the brother was probably drunk all the time. But he didn't drive and he didn't drink. He just was very business and focused and that. And I was like, the most successful person in my family lineage was a non-drinker. And I was like, that's what I should do. And I remember Uncle James, my brother, had taken a year off and didn't drink. And I was just admired that so much. And when I quit drinking at 50, I was just going to do 1 year.
Yeah.
I was just going to do 1 year. And I got to 1 year and I was like, that was the best year of my life, besides that little trip in Iceland.
Well, I think that's the context. I think is helpful because I'm thinking like a lot of people will relate to this. Like I think there's so many people that know that they have an issue with alcohol and know that if they want to live the fullest life they can live, they're going to have to give it up at some point. But I think, as you said, like it's so easy to have so many excuses of like, well, that's my whole social life. I'm in the restaurant industry. Like, will I be lonely? Like, what will I do?
Will I be funny?
Yeah, will I be funny? And
like, I'm so funny when I'm drunk. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, well,
it's amazing is how many people are assholes when they're drunk. Like, it should be a little easier for those people to decide to quit drinking. Like, if you're an angry drunk,
yeah.
Maybe quit drinking.
Yeah,
my problem was I was a happy drunk.
Yeah.
Loved it. Louder, funnier, everything like that.
So, but were you afraid? Were you of those things? Were you like, am I not going to be funny? How am I going to go socialize at my restaurants? What am I going to do for my social life? Did those things cross your mind? Or when you decided to quit, it was just you were so certain that this is what you needed to do, you didn't worry about that stuff?
Recall, we did have 1 month where we quit drinking together, where we were separated.
Oh, yeah.
We were separated.
I didn't quit drinking that month.
Oh, I quit drinking.
Yeah.
To prove to you I could quit drinking.
Yeah.
And I realized that I could function fully. And see, I'm very, very fortunate. I didn't have to go to AA meetings. I didn't have withdrawals. I wasn't sneaking around. You know what it is? Fucking nicotine. I should be going to AA meetings for nicotine. I'm like, some days I'm just like, and I fucking haven't had a cigarette for like 3-4 months now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, or not a cigarette. People don't smoke cigarettes anymore, as far as I know.
Lozenge.
My vape. But like that, I can't get it off my mind. I imagine that's what an alcoholic feels like for alcohol. It's just like, oh my God. Like any stressful moment, I'm like, oh God, if I could hit a vape right now, I'd be so much better. I'd be so much better if I could hit a vape right now. I was very fortunate. I didn't have to do that for alcohol, and I didn't have to get a sponsor. I didn't have to do those things. I was able just to stop it. And
But there's no shame in doing that.
not
and
at
I
all.
think for
You gotta
most
do whatever you
people,
can do to
that
get
can
through
be
it.
really helpful to have a community and to have a program. Like, I think you're the exception to the rule. It's rare.
Oh yes, I whatever it takes,
Yeah.
whatever it takes. But I did, because of like the DUIs, I did spend a lot of time in AA meetings and stuff like that, and that was heavy for me. It was really heavy, and it's pretty dark and pretty depressing. So I mean, if you are going to do AA, definitely. I didn't look for a good AA. I just went for the one that I needed a signature from.
Yeah.
So I went to some really, really bad ones.
Yeah.
There are really, really good AAs that you can go research and find out which ones fit your lifestyle and fit your circle of friends better. And then all of a sudden,
I mean, you might even meet fucking like Bradley Cooper and Dak Shepard in AA.
and
Like
Brad
those
Pitt.
those
And
guys
they all
go.
went to Brad, yeah. They all go to AA together. You
Yeah.
know, there's an AA for every classification of person. So definitely research that one, because if you go to a shitty one like I was doing downtown OB, you're gonna freaking
Oh, God.
a bunch of homeless people and
Yeah.
stuff like that
Yeah.
who have alcohol in their pocket.
Yeah.
Those are not gonna make you want to stay on that journey. But then you do realize that you are. Who laughs the loudest in the world? Who laughs the most in the world? Children, little kids.
Yeah.
You ever hear a kid giggle? All day long. We live by a school. That's all we can hear is giggle, 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 giggle. That's your natural body and your brain and your heart without alcohol. We used to laugh so easy and for so without anything. And now we think that a lot of people think that the alcohol makes you funny or makes you more confident. It does give you a false confidence.
Yeah.
So it you just in the early days you don't go out a lot when you first quit drinking. I think the first month you're like, I'll just watch TV. I don't want to go out. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can handle any situation. And then after a while you figure out I can handle it better. Unfortunately, what I immediately did was like, what is my vice? I need a vice. Because if you
I don't necessarily think, unfortunately, like I think everybody can do things kind of the way that they need to, and I think you kind of needed your couple years with gummies. I don't
Yeah, so
think
then I
you would have been.
immediately-
I don't think you would have stayed sober without gummies. Like I don't think you would have
100%
stayed
not.
off alcohol without gummies.
100% not.
I think that like for you that was an important part of your transition. I know not everybody that would be their journey, but I think for you that worked.
So funny, gummies. I don't like to smoke weed. I don't smoke weed I love to smoke weed when I was shithouse drunk, like at like 11 o'clock, like Uncle Palmer's
Oh,
got
yeah,
the bong.
you
like,
would always call me at 11:30 at night, him and Palmer, like not even speaking English.
That's what I love to smoke weed. But I've never had the greatest relationship with smoking weed because of getting
Paranoid.
and those sorts of things. But I did find that if I had a hybrid or a sativa gummies, that I became very social. So yeah, maybe I was concerned I wasn't social enough. And I'm Brian Malarkey. I'm funny. I'm supposed to entertain and talk to a bunch of people at the restaurants and stuff like that. So I started taking the sativas, and I mean, like people who eat sativa laugh at me, but I mean, 5 milligrams was all I ever needed. And I would have a lovely night and be like, blah, 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 telling stories, and then like realize like halfway through a story I forgot what story I was talking about. I'd be like, hey, what was I talking about? Like, oh my God. And that was fine with me. That was fine. But a couple years of that, about 2.5 years of that, 2 3/4 years of that, I started realizing, oh my God, I've just started using this. Because it wasn't anymore like, oh, I'll just take it when I go out.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh my God, something pissed me off. I'm going to take a gummy, because I got off of the
Lexapro.
Lexapro. So I started really using them when I got off the Lexapro to really kind of help me there. And then I just realized that, oh my God, I'm taking gummies 6 days a week. Like
6 days a week.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and then you immediately, like if I got upset at something, 45 minutes later, I'd be like, I'm okay now.
Yeah.
I'm okay. So then realizing I hadn't addressed any of the shit that was pissing me off. I wasn't calming the noise in my brain, right? And I think that's what everybody wants to do. That's why you drink. That's why you abuse drugs. That's why you work out. That's why you have, whatever. You're just your brain. We can't turn our fucking brains off.
Yeah, your brain isn't a pleasant place to live. Like
Yes.
it's hard to be present.
And people are always like, I can't turn it off. I can't turn it off. And I know that's why people drink. And I know that's why they distract themselves any fucking way they possibly can. So I'm out here now, raw dogging life.
Yeah, you are.
Woo, and I'm over a month now, probably.
Yeah.
Straight raw dogging it. And I got off of caffeine also. And I did that a little earlier because I was like, why do I need more adrenaline in my life? I'm already running at such a high speed. And I love that. That's really calmed me down, but it didn't turn off my brain. So getting rid of alcohol didn't turn off my brain. Stopping caffeine didn't turn off my brain. Lexapro, well, that did help me turn off my brain, but now I opened it up more. And now that I have no gummies, is my therapist now is like, when you get mad, you get sad, you get angry, you get happy, be with it.
Yeah.
Just be with it. Just like sit with it, feel it. Like let it, where is it in your body? Where are you feeling it? Where is it at? And now that I can actually do that, it's the first time I've ever been at one with my emotion rather than going, how can I get rid of you? How can I get rid of you? Because guess what, guys? This is the big one. You can't fucking get rid of them.
Yeah.
They're fucking all right here. So you might as well process them better. You know, like your computer. If your computer, should you put a bunch of viruses in your computer to make it run better? The viruses being the alcohol, the flirting with people outside your relationship, the whatever viruses you can put inside yourself to distract yourself. Does that make your computer run better? No, that's our computer. So you have to raw dog this fucking thing called life. And I saw like an interview by Flea. Flea was like, I gave up everything because I wanted the fucking pain, man. I wanted to feel it all now. And if you want to advance who you are or what your mission on this planet is, the best way to do it, not the only way, but the only way I know how at this point, is to raw dog life. So if you want to live, you got to raw dog it, because as many highs as there are lows, and we all have shit to deal with. We all have insecurities. We all have problems with our families. We all have all of these things going on. So the sooner you can sit with them, you can't solve them. You can't solve them. You can't change them. You sit with them, and then you feel them, and then you move through them, and then you constantly are looking for the good, happy things, and then the happy things, you really absorb those and embrace those also.
Yeah. And I think a lot of these things, I think a lot of times addicts are like running from something. And I think a lot of times they don't know what they're running from. It's like, you know, something happened to them in childhood that was horrible and scary, but they're not consciously thinking about it. But something in their psyche is so scary that like you have to have all these, like your brain is running 1,000,000 miles an hour because it's so scared for you to kind of sit with this raw pain. But then I think once you are able to like sit with the pain and sit with discomfort and sit with things as you come up, you realize that like you actually don't have to run from all of these things. And
There's no place to run.
Yeah.
That's the
and
truth.
that running doesn't solve it. And that like, you know, all these things, you can actually face them. And when you face them head on, like it's so much better. You know, we just watched the Charlie Sheen documentary and
Whoa.
yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Which was amazing.
And
But
let me tell you, I thought about having a cigarette several times during that fucking documentary.
I won't rat you out. But
Sean Penn was fucking like smoking. Sean Penn was smoking a vape with a cigarette lit. And he was just talking about Charlie Sheen, dude. He was like, oh, dude. I was like, oh, yeah, I had to go get one of my lozenges just because I was like, I can't take it anymore.
But I just think that when you are wound up so tight, or you constantly feel like you have to look for something to get outside of yourself, whether that's caffeine, alcohol, social media, sex, love, like any of those things that you use to work to distract yourself, there's something inside of you that's asking for attention. And like, whether that's like a little part of you that you've abandoned, whether that's something traumatic that you've been through that you've never let yourself sit with, like something's asking for attention. And I think when you give it attention, what we found is that it's such a relief. And it is like, it's not as scary as you thought to turn around and face that monster. You're just like, why didn't I do this sooner? Why haven't I let myself feel these things and process these things? And it can be really hard and challenging depending on what you're facing. But I thought of Charlie Sheen because he talks about when he was really bad in his crack addiction, he's a straight man and he started having sex with men. And I think he's just like, yeah, I did, you know?
I did it.
And
they go, would you take that back? And he was like, no, It was just life, man. It was
Yeah.
just part of it.
I mean, they're kind of, I think it was this part, but they're like, you've never spoken about this publicly. Like, how does it feel to get that off your chest? And he's like, it feels amazing. Like, shame is this dark thing that like shame thrives in secrecy. And so like when we're holding all this stuff inside, we think we're so dark and broken. But if you can let it out, you're like, oh, we all have been through shit. We all have this stuff, but it's okay.
So for the record, I'm still not gay. I never had crack gay sex.
Yeah.
But had to do that. The whole idea of that was, he said, in this, Charlie Sheen said this, he said, in this big giant world of so many fucked up things in our governments and our religions and our politics and, you know, famine and all this stuff, me fucking having sex with a guy when I was high on crack, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck cares, you know? Like everyone thinks somebody fucking cares.
Yeah.
But so many people give so little shits about anything but themselves, you know? And that's why there's so much, yes. So, coming up on 53.
Yeah.
My brain still races. I still have problems sleeping. I still distract myself with work. I've enjoyed distracting myself with working out a little bit. Distract myself so many different ways, but I'm sitting with, when shit doesn't go my way, I'm better. The other day we had a good one. I got upset with you and lost my shit for like 4 seconds.
Oh, at least 30
seconds.
Yeah.
And then I was able to, like, I saw it coming out, and it was like a little demon inside me. It was like, and I couldn't I wasn't driving the boat anymore. I was like, oh fuck, and then it like, and I got it out, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And it takes you 30 minutes to recover from a 30-second demon.
Yeah.
But we got through it.
It didn't take me 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was joking. You exaggerated my time. I took yours.
30 seconds? It was not an exaggeration. I was being kind to you.
But so
life is a process.
Yeah, you're never.
You know?
I think I even read something like where Buddhist monks are like, that's their whole thing, is they're trying to calm their brain.
Yeah.
And their brains are still racing after days, months, years, lifetime of meditation and silence.
You've made huge progress in the past 3 years. Like, you are a different person. You are a different partner. You're a different father than you were 3 years ago. Like, you've made so much incredible progress. And I think sometimes it's hard to notice because we make progress like slowly over time. You know, you don't realize how much progress you've made in a week, but you look back over 3 years and you're like, wow, I am a different person. And I hope that you can appreciate how much you've grown. And I'm sure 3 years from now, like, you'll be like, holy shit, you know?
I'll levitate.
I can't believe like how, yeah, I can't believe how, you know, immature I was 3 years ago, kind of thing.
No. Immaturity is my strong suit. That's one thing I don't want to get.
But I do think it's important to celebrate yourself and celebrate like the wins. And I think, you know, sometimes you feel like me, I'm like, you know how much effort and I put into growth and healing and all those things. And it was like, I had a moment that seemed kind of small and insignificant, which was that my brother had his bachelor party in Rosarito last weekend. And like 5 years ago, my brother and my ex-boyfriend at the time went to Mexico together, and I like couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep for like a week. Like, I had convinced myself they were going to get murdered in Mexico. And that was like my psyche at the time. And then this time my brother's going for his bachelor party with a bunch of drunk idiot boys to Rosarito, which people get murdered there, but not that often. But I just like being like, oh, he's going to be fine. I don't have to worry about this. Like, I'm not going to like waste any time worrying about this. Was like, wow, my brain is different than it was 5 years ago. And like, you know, I don't necessarily feel like every single day I'm making progress, but I've never given up on the work. I'm always putting in the work. And 5 years later, my brain works totally differently. And so it just is like, it works. It works if you work it, which I think is an AA saying.
Good.
Yeah.
So onward and upward, and that little voice inside my head said, don't look back. You can never look back.
Yeah. Well, I think, what is your hope for this year? What what are the things that you want to accomplish this year? Whether that's like emotionally, whether that's business wise. Like, why don't you give us 3 of your big things for this year?
Well, you did ask me these the other day,
Yeah.
so I feel rehearsed.
Okay.
So for the most part, we don't rehearse anything. We're not really good on notes or anything. So I said put a baby in your belly and then have it come out of your belly.
Okay.
Actually, it'd come out of your vagina because you wouldn't do a C-section, so
Yeah.
it's just gonna come out of your vagina. I want to open an incredible restaurant in Portland, Oregon. A successful restaurant in Portland, Oregon. I want to do all of those amazing things we want to do with Chef's Life, our product line, that we're going to make the world a better place and make the world, the United States at least, eat healthier, which is a big thing that you're really excited about.
Yes.
And I'm going to hopefully continue to grow and enhance my relationship with you and with my children. Just looking forward to spending quality time with my family members and people who are important to me and appreciating my time here on this earth.
Yeah. So let's say it's September 26, 2026.
Ooh, that's good.
How do you want to feel?
It's not my golden birthday, but that's like my golden birthday year.
Yeah, no, it is.
How do I want to feel in 2026?
Yeah, how do you want to feel? Waking up that morning, how do you want to feel?
At peace. Same thing I go for every day. I want to feel like I've accomplished enough that I deserve to enjoy and relax on that day.
Yeah.
That is what I have a hard time doing, relaxing.
Well, we'll hold you to it.
Cheerio.